Straight ahead on CCX News, a Maple Grove woman who is sowing a bond with other women in the East African nation of Uganda. Plus, changes coming to a Robbinsdale bar and restaurant, what will soon be going away. But first, charges now filed in a Park Center student's shooting death. What prosecutors say led up to the crime. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A Robbinsdale man is in jail tonight in connection with the shooting death of a 17-year-old student who attended Park Center High School.
The Anoka County Attorney's Office charged 19-year-old Zakaria Ahmed of Robbinsdale with second-degree murder. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Mike and Alex, the charges against Ahmed were filed this morning after Minneapolis police arrested him on Tuesday. The Anoka County attorney believes Ahmed met up with 17-year-old Mohamed Abu Kadir Sunday night to purchase marijuana, but during their meeting, Ahmed shot him twice. Abu Kadir was found shot to death in Fridley along the side of a road early Monday morning near where he lived. According to the criminal complaint, he was shot twice, once in his neck and another shot to the back of his head. The complaint says Abu Kadir left his house Sunday night telling family he was meeting someone to sell some items near where he lived. A neighbor then reported hearing 2 gunshots and saw 2 or 3 men getting into a silver SUV. When police found Abu Kadir's body, his cell phone indicated he had exchanged text messages with Ahmed. Ahmed later reported to police that his phone and vehicle were stolen. The vehicle was later found by Minneapolis police early Wednesday morning. Investigators say it was intentionally set on fire. Ahmed appeared in Anoka County District Court Thursday morning. A judge set his bail at $1 million. His next court appearance is scheduled for August 3rd. If convicted, Ahmed could face up to 40 years in prison.
All right, Delane, thank you. Meanwhile, people who knew Abu Kadir created a memorial in honor of their slain friend, but in the process, they caused an estimated $10,000 in damage to Brooklyn Park's Oak Grove Park. Distraught friends memorialized the Park Center student by spray painting the parking lot. Police encountered the people responsible, but decided not to punish them because of the sensitive nature of the situation.
I support and think the officers made a great decision that just wasn't the moment to try to start making arrests or doing actions from the law enforcement point of view, just because we would have really instigated something that just would have not looked that good when their intention was to really memorialize the death of their friend.
The city repainted the parking lot this morning. The victim's friends were told they could create a memorial for him at the Zanewood Rec Center instead. Brooklyn Park police say those responsible for the spray painting will be held accountable at the appropriate time.
Robbinsdale police are investigating an unusual incident that involved the sound of a gunshot and the deployment of a SWAT team. Police were called to the 4100 block of Xenia Avenue North a little before 8:30 this Thursday morning. A witness had reported seeing a man passed out in a driveway with a firearm in a holster. According to the witness, the man got up and then several people reported hearing a single gunshot. Officers tried to contact the man inside his residence before the West Metro SWAT team arrived. Eventually, 2 men exited the home and were arrested. Charges are pending.
Big changes are coming to a Robbinsdale establishment, one that will involve a change of ownership. The Lodge, located on West Broadway, has been a music venue, but previous owners have struggled to make it profitable. In 2013, it abruptly closed, only to have a different owner take it over. Now, the new ownership group wants to change the focus of the venue completely by creating a more family-friendly restaurant and eliminate the music component. The new owners also would use part of the facility to cater to weddings. Renovations have already started, and the ownership change is expected to happen at the end of August.
In Golden Valley, a contractor has been chosen to replace a bridge culvert that is at risk of collapsing. Since the 10th Avenue culvert supports railroad tracks and the weight of freight trains, the city is anxious to have it rebuilt before an accident occurs. This week, the council approved a $1.5 million bid for the work, which will start in August. There may be work around the clock for a couple of days to get the job done quicker.
We can either fix that track and have 5 days, or maybe I guess 10 days total of annoyance, or we could potentially have a natural disaster that, where people in that area might have to actually move out of their homes for a period of time if we don't fix that in a timely fashion.
Work is expected to be finished by the end of November. MnDOT and the Union Pacific Railroad are helping with the cost.
Another big weekend road closure awaits drivers. This one involves Highway 169. Southbound 169 will be closed between Highway 55 in Golden Valley and Highway 7 in Hopkins. Closure starts at 7 p.m. Friday and goes until 5 a.m. Monday. The stretch of highway will be closed for paving work.
The YMCA is getting a boost when it comes to helping young people find a job that's right for them. YMCA of the Greater Twin Cities received a $500,000 state grant to place young people in internships and set them on a career path. Ys across the metro already have teen programs, and they plan to use the money to expand those by creating 200 youth internships as a starting point.
But it will also set the stage for us to grow many more opportunities in years to come, particularly for underserved young people in our communities. So we're really focusing on young people who face barriers to employment and accessing the kinds of opportunities that they need to get real-world job skills.
Information on how to apply for this program will come out later, but the Y does have job openings right now across the metro, including many that would work for young people. If you can sew, knit, or crochet, or you know someone who does, you can make a big difference in somebody's life.
A Maple Grove woman is collecting sewing supplies to help girls and women near a refugee camp in Uganda.
People have been extremely generous, and they're cleaning out their closet too, and mothers, a lot of grandmothers' machines are in here.
Judy Johnson's home is filling up with sewing machines of all eras, as well as fabric and other accessories for sewing, knitting, and crocheting. Maple Grove Rotary member is collecting donations until September 17th. 5 area Rotary clubs chipped in with an $11,000 grant to cover the cost of shipping all the items to Uganda this fall. In December, Judy and a group of others will travel to Uganda to set up a sewing center for women near a large refugee camp.
They've traveled and traveled, and they have nothing to earn money to take care of their babies except prostitution. So we're taking them out of that, giving them another skill where they can learn to make items, sew items, knit items, crochet items, and make $1 and take care of their families. Horrible belt system.
One of the things Judy and others will teach the women is how to make washable feminine hygiene kits so girls and women can go to school and work. And if you would like to donate, there is more information about that on our website.
Still ahead on CCX News, a gardening method a Robbinsdale green thumb swears by. We'll show you up next.
And later, highlights from the first round of the Legion baseball playoffs.
But first, an unsettled Friday forecast. There is a chance for more thunderstorms. We'll be right back.
Farmers markets today offer communities more than fresh vegetables.
But often the fun of farmers markets is off limits to families with limited incomes. The nonprofit organization CEAP in Brooklyn Park will change that by offering a 16-week program called Farm Fresh Fest. Starting on July 21st, any community member can come and pick up free fresh produce and bring their kids along too. They tried this farmers market style event for families last year, and it was a big success. So this year, it'll be bigger and better.
We wanted to recreate a farmers market feel for our families that maybe wouldn't otherwise be able to afford to attend a farmers market. So this was an opportunity for us to bring in the same joy and festivities that you would find at a really great farmers market, but bring it here at CEAP.
Farm Fresh Fest happens every other Friday until the end of October. It happens rain or shine underneath the parking pavilion at CEAP. In today's In the Garden, no tilling and virtually no weeding.
It's true. A Robbinsdale gardener is using a creative method to get the most out of her garden. Reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden to show us how.
I wanted to say, wow, that's really cool.
You can't help but to notice Priscilla Watson's garden. It's the corner house with the magnificent greenery and blooms.
Yeah.
Several years ago, Priscilla planted 2 plots.
Look how pretty they are. They're kind of roughly.
Using the so-called lasagna gardening method.
It's not difficult.
Here's how it works. You basically add layers of organic materials that will cook down over time.
You could put layers of things like peat moss and leaves and, grass clippings.
That helps to create good soil that will allow your plants to thrive.
So this is actually how it all starts.
We were there in 2015 when she was just getting started.
Layers of newspapers, all wet, just completely cover the ground, make sure they're really good and wet.
She chose this method because she didn't want to go through the trouble of digging up her yard.
There's a lot of clay, it's hard. When it gets dry, it just gets like a rock. You can't do anything with it.
Over the years, the gardens transformed into lavish landscapes
It's really come along, hasn't it?
with irises, lavender, sedum, and some unique flowers too.
These are some of my favorite plants. These are called cup plants. When it rains, water sits in here, so birds and pollinators can come and drink from it.
And this plant will make you do a double take.
It's called a goosehead loosestrife because the flower heads look kind of like goose heads.
Priscilla says lasagna gardening is not difficult, and she encourages others to give it a try.
You just realize that, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough for who it's for.
In Robbinsdale, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Priscilla is a member of the Robbinsdale Diggers Garden Club, and she says the other nice thing about using the lasagna method is that there are hardly any weeds because the newspaper prevents them from growing. Good idea. Still ahead, artwork in Maple Grove that some say is a cut above.
But first, Terry Tuma talks about how preparation for your next fishing trip can really pay off. John Jacobson steps in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The sub-state playoffs are underway in American Legion Baseball. Maple Grove and Osseo are the top two seeds in sub-state 11. Maple Grove meeting Monticello in a first-round game at Osseo. Bottom of the first, Luke Hansen rips a base hit. Josh Tyler trots home from third base. And Jensen Erickson motors around and scores with a nice slide for a 2-0 Grove lead. Still in the first, runners on first and second, no outs. Monticello pulls a triple play. Brady Becker catches the line drive, steps on second, and goes to first to end the frame. Bottom of the third, Hansen with a deep fly ball to left center field. This one off the fence, and it plates Tyler and Erickson for a 4-0 Maple Grove lead. Top of the sixth, Monticello breaks through. Tommy Blackstone, 2-out single, scores Mitch Bellows. And the next hitter is Alex Otto. He singles through the hole to score Karsten Scherber, and the Grove lead is cut in half. Maple Grove gets one back in the home half of the sixth inning. Hayden Thompson's infield hit scores Curtis Haugen, and it's 5-2 Grove. Bubba Horton comes on to pitch to ninth. He strikes out the side. Maple Grove wins 5-3 is the final. In other games Wednesday, Osseo edged Rogers 7-6. Osseo now plays Anoka Friday morning at 10 at Memorial Field, followed at 1 o'clock by Maple Grove versus St. Michael. The winners of those games play each other Saturday morning at 10. In Sub-State 4, top seed Wayzata beat Minneapolis Post Office Washburn 6-1 this morning. They'll play St. Louis Park Friday morning at 9:30 at Round Lake Stadium in Eden Prairie. And in Sub-State 9, Champlin and Armstrong are both playing winners bracket games late Thursday afternoon at Wintercrest Park in Coon Rapids. Summer sports camps are a good chance for young athletes to develop their game and learn new skills, like at the Armstrong boys basketball camp, which wrapped up Thursday. This is the fourth and final week of camps that the Falcons coaching staff runs each summer. Many of these players, 5th through 7th graders, have played in all 4 weeks. While the staff certainly want the kids to have fun, they do emphasize teaching the game so players can improve.
We run 4 weeks of camp, and this is called Skills Camp, where we have smaller groups. We have a good ratio of like 5 players to 1 coach. I employ high school coaches and high school graduates. We take a lot of pride in them. We teach them how to play with the Armstrong way. We emphasize a lot of the same things we do in our high school team, and these are for the kids who really want to get better at basketball. I learned from some masters of basketball camps a long time ago. Stu Starner, former coach at Minnesota and Montana State, and John Oxton, I used to coach at Lakeville, and Steve Bender, and some guys that really knew what they were doing at basketball camps. So that's what we take pride in, being organized and teaching stuff that's really going to help them if they take it home with them and work on it.
This is the 17th year for the Armstrong camp under Coach Miller. Fishing is a pretty leisurely activity, but anglers want to make the most of their time on the lake too. Terry Tuma talks about efficiency in this week's CCX Media Fishing Tip.
In the last couple of weeks, it's amazing how many anglers will state I'm going to fish for whatever bites. In fact, I just talked to 2 anglers out there. We just went out fishing. Whatever we catch, that's fine. We do need to become more efficient. And first of all, what you want to do is pick out the body of water, pre-plan that trip. We talked about a game plan in the past, but pre-plan that trip. And then, pick out the species you're going to be fishing for. Also, extremely important. Pre-rig your rods according to that species. Do pay attention to the weather conditions. Is it a front that's coming through? Is it stable weather? Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? These are all factors. Where's the wind coming from? These are all factors in how we should rig. And then when you're rigging accordingly, take several rods with you, with one bait on this rod, another bait, another lure. And what that offers to us, and of course to the fish, is that now we have that quick attempt of catching these fish. And then too is when you go out there, have a starting point. Pick out 4 or 5 different spots that you're going to work. We do not need to run all over the whole lake. And when you're picking out these locations, maybe if you're fishing for bass, it's going to be inside the weeds, the weed edge. Maybe there's going to be a rock hump out there. These are all factors. We want to pre-select those spots and take only the gear that you're going to use on that given day. Do not take an excessive amount of rods or all this tackle. These are all factors in us helping catch more fish. It will increase our success. Always remember, we should never come off a body of water without a fish.
Thanks, Terry. Good advice. USA Cup Soccer continues through Saturday. Playoffs in most age divisions start on Friday morning. That's all for sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thanks. Up next, part hair salon, part art gallery.
The reason behind this Maple Grove Salon's art display when we come back.
Now, finally, a Maple Grove Salon's building makeover turned into a gallery of sorts for local artists.
This area of southern Utah is called the Moab area, and I mean, you can just see it's absolutely stunning.
That's the photography of Hopkins artist John McKinley. His work is decorating the walls of New Reflections Salon in Maple Grove right now. Every 3 months, a local artist's work rotates through to the other 2 salon locations in Plymouth and Minnetonka. It's a win-win for the local artists to show their work, and the salon gets beautiful pieces for the walls and for their clients to enjoy.
Our team members are artists. That's their craft. That's what they do with hair, makeup, skin, and nails every day. So we decided, let's feature local artists and give them the opportunity to showcase their work.
The salons are looking for new artists to display come winter. And yes, the artwork is for sale. For any piece that is sold, 20% of the profits go to benefit Hello Gorgeous. And that's a nationwide project that offers a day of spa services to women who are struggling with cancer. Really neat program over there. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Friday, starting at 4.